everyone, my name is Dragorad. I am the co-founder and CEO of Eyezon. The fastest growing live video shopping software for large omnichannel retail in 2020. Your bullshit meter probably heavily spiked right now because most of you never heard about Eyezon before you registered to this event. So before we dive any deeper into this, let us give you a little bit of context. Eyezon was founded 3 years ago by a group of friends, professionals from sales, digital commerce, strategic marketing, and of course, software development. Already in 2017, it was very clear to us that during this decade, digital marketplaces and social media will start rapidly converging into a completely new format of digital social commerce. Marketplaces are increasingly turning into social shopping platforms, quickly adapting social media instruments and embedding them into their customer experience. Social media, reaching their advertising monetization limit, being pressurized by their stakeholders, are entering the new retail game by getting redefined as all new virtual megamalls. We have already reached the point when accessibility, abundance, and affordability alone, taken to unprecedented level by leading digital commerce platforms, are simply not enough in highly competitive online retail game. Social commerce, with more natural, engaging, and culturally meaningful instruments of connecting people and businesses, placing live and abundant content at the center of this connection, is now officially seen as the key transformation tool for the next decade of retail growth. With the steady decline of brick-and-mortar sales volumes and profit margin, and fast growth of sales volumes in online channels, retail globally invests $9 out of $10 into traffic and customer acquisition, with only $1 put into purchase and repurchase conversion instruments. Of course, if you're a digital marketplace or a social media, growing into a new social commerce platform, this seems a perfectly reasonable thing to do, as traffic and not product or services is essentially what you sell. But if you are a large brand or independent omnichannel retailer, having in your online channel an average 2.5% purchase conversion versus 20 to 25% in your brick and mortar stores, investing most of your money into pumping up the traffic, free shipping, and promotional discounts is the most certain way to hand over your business to the guys I've just mentioned, who actually own 100% of online traffic and engagement instruments. Brands and independent retailers are losing the race for more motivated traffic to current digital marketplaces and future social media commerce, while their purchase conversion rates become increasingly dependent on data and technologies, in both of which these players exceed you by a wide margin. Accessibility, assortment, affordability. Attracting customers as quickly as possible by demonstrating as relevant choice as possible to sell them a product for the lowest price possible. Ideal customer experience that ID guys believe in, to be blunt about it, is turning all of the internet's social, entertainment, and shopping space into an endless row of super smart, high-tech, virtual vending machines, and turning manufacturers, brands, and retailers into vending machine suppliers and maintenance staff. Key problem of all of the digital retail transformation story is that eventually, when you look at your shop website, app, marketplace, or social media page, you and your customers are drowning in this vast sea of sameness. Terrible lack of space for creation of differentiating, unique, competitive brand advantage. The perfect storm. Also, the perfect moment for thoroughly reimagining the customer journey and making new, uncompromising decisions about how you want to keep, grow, and engage your customers in this decade. And as historically was always the case, one of the most powerful instruments to reboot your brand and sales is already under your nose for quite some time: live streaming. Fresh, real-time, rich, and engaging interaction between businesses and customers, skyrocketing as the most talked about thing during the last year. Today, we want to share with you our own experience of a startup product becoming the fastest growing independent SaaS business in commercial live streaming in just over 6 months in one of the toughest retail markets in the world. And we want to share our thoughts on what exactly was our unfair advantage in doing it. Eyezon credentials for today's talk are these. In 2020, our live stream commerce solution has covered 1/3 of Eurasia continental area with more than 200 million population. We did it by partnering with top omnichannel retailers in over 10 categories with more than 58 million of total web traffic. Together, we have reached more than 25 million impressions and more than 1 million engagements, which converts into 112,000 of dialogues with salesmen and more than 48,000 live stream sessions, which resulted in about 10,000 sales with conversion rate of over 20% monthly. In most of our markets, live stream video commerce today is very much like a teenage sex thing. Everybody talks and knows a lot about it, but almost no one really did it or knows how to do it properly. So, assuming that all of us here are 18+, let's start the real talk.
Meet Eyezon, a human-centric live video sales tool. And here is how it works. The customer asks questions directly on your product page without switching to a third-party website. And your sales team or employees receive a notification to their Eyezon mobile app. Your employees can live stream, either on demand or at a set time, to answer questions of customers, who can join the live stream party to enjoy an in-depth online showcasing of your products. So, let's get started. It only takes 3 simple steps to start using Eyezon. Step 1. Create and configure your button. Here, you have a range of personalization tools at your disposal. Step 2. Integrate the button into your website. All you need is to add the auto-generated code to all of your web pages, and to insert the button using our ID. Step 3. Connect your team. Add whoever you like to your team. Great! Now, team members are able to download the mobile app. Let's learn how to use it. Your employees can choose the status of their availability within the mobile app. Before answering to the request chosen on the homepage, your employee can check the details about the product on the product card webpage. While there are multiple options to communicate with customers, we recommend live streaming as a main tool, since live streaming sales efficiency is almost as strong as real-life sales. Each session and all of its contents will be saved to the chat session. Within the profile page, you can find your streaming history and viewpoints earned during each session. Using these points, employees can purchase coupons that you create for them. These coupons can act as incentives for the employees and can be found in the My Coupons tab. Discover the live video shopping with Eyezon.
This is the moment when you would probably want to hear the other side as well. Let's hear a comment from one of our clients that you most definitely heard about.
There's great potential to online consultancy service. Surely, it soon will be an essential part of online shopping and partly replace conventional offline shopping. It will definitely grow very popular in the future. It already does. For Adidas, video shopping is an opportunity to stay connected with customers, no matter the situation, and provide only best service. For customers, it is an opportunity to scrutinize the product during live streams, ask all the questions, and get professional assistance.
Unsurprisingly, we fully agree. What I would additionally emphasize is the way in which Eyezon and Adidas' approach to live stream shopping experience managed to deliver the high level of social engagement with our customers while staying fully focused on purchase conversions and keeping all of this experience 100% within Adidas' digital commerce ecosystem. Now let us make a step back and share with you the thinking and the specific angle on live streaming commerce that led us to a product with such high adoption rate at a large scale in such a short period of time. Today, only very lazy marketing people are not cheering for the future of live broadcast shopping as the most powerful long-term instrument for online sales in the post-COVID world. Even a brief glance at the China market case for it seems to prove the point immediately. Just check out the figures. But let's take a minute to look more closely into this thing. 90% of China retail market is shared by 3 digital marketplaces and social commerce giants. Independent retail is basically non-existent in that market. These 3 players are being a one-stop service, not just for the shopping, but for virtually everything from social interaction and entertainment to personal finance and dealing with all everyday routines. The sheer amount of organic and motivated customer traffic on these platforms turn virtually any interesting shopper feature into a thing, with a low price and high convenience for vendors. Understandingly, in your markets, Amazon and other large digital marketplaces, as well as social media apps, are quickly picking up on this and will promptly offer you the same. Should big brands go for it? Sure. You would be crazy not to tap into that trend. But also, as a big brand, you cannot ignore the fact that in your market, independent retail, including your own, makes for a huge portion of your sales, and more importantly, for obvious reasons, it is the strategic sales channel you want to develop and empower in the long-term future. So, how does the live broadcast sales look in this light? We see 3 main drawbacks for brands and independent retailers using live broadcast shopping experience as the competitive instrument of growing sales in the long term. Natalia, can you share our thoughts on this one?
Sure. We see 3 main factors that every brand and retailer should seriously consider before getting into this story. First of all, it's media advertising costs. In order to make it really work, and we have to keep in mind that a worldwide average independent retail online shop conversion rate is about 2.5%, and we're not talking about Amazon or AliExpress at the moment. So each live stream session requires a wide and well-targeted advertising campaign done way ahead to subscribe the audience and keep it motivated before the session. And you will need to use your most engaging, creative storytelling ad formats, meaning the most expensive ones, to be sure that you get not just a subscription, but a highly motivated subscription. That's why your media advertising agency is probably all over you with live stream shopping opportunities. But come on, to how many of such campaigns can you commit annually? Second of all, it's content production costs. Initially, as most of those who cheer for this format say, production costs of a live stream session seem quite attractive. But to squeeze out all the potential of this format and stay competitive with it long term, brands and independent retailers will soon have to exponentially grow their spendings. With 4 or 5 minutes of attentions that you'll get on average, You will constantly need better influences, richer sets, brighter interactions, cooler entertainment. Soon, your live stream shopping will turn into a production value contest, and with significant growth of conversions, you very well might end with a negative ROI. No matter what your digital and social media marketing creative partners are selling you on this one, we do remember what happened to the last century creative superstar formats, don't we? And thirdly, it's brand image and reputation costs. It's easy to imagine how this customer experience format and mechanics gets quickly commoditized. Committing to this instrument as the strategic means of sales growth, you are handing over the most intimate moment between your brand and your customer to an army of essentially bloggers, whose influence and power will quickly depreciate. Once they get fully committed to video sales, doing monthly dozens of 2-6 hours live stream shopping sessions for a living, the power of your brand will weaken, along with their own social influence. It can hardly be wise to hand over the only thing that you have full control over and that can differentiate you the most, your customer relationship, to people who have their own wider social agenda. Dragorat.
Thanks, Natalia. Still, does this mean that we think live broadcast shopping is a bad thing to go with? No. We do believe that this new TV shopping 2.0, because it is what essentially it is, will work great in two distinctive use cases. First, as a tactical sales promotion instrument. High season sales, support, tactical brand promotions, substitute for in-store promotions, etc. Uplifting your tactical promo campaigns with such an instrument can deliver a very good bang for your buck. And secondly, as brand awareness and engagement tool when launching new products and services, communicating brand values and territory, connecting to loyal audiences and micro-influencers. But when it comes to strategic sales impact, we believe that the future transformation shopping should be a live shopping experience happening on demand, not being broadcasted. About recreating the long-forgotten brick-and-mortar experience of personal, intimate, one-on-one experience between your customer and your product, mediated by currently most underappreciated micro-influencer that is completely absent in your digital commerce equation. Your salesperson, product consultant, or in-store promoter. The one and only influencer that for hundreds of years of retail history can do one thing in 4 minutes that no digital influencer can nearly do as good. Get up close and personal, show genuine expertise, create trust, and close the deal. From the very beginning, 3 years ago, this belief was like a guiding star for us that took us through hundreds of different product concepts and experiments on our way to current Eyezon product. Right, Anthony?
Yes, way too many of them. And after all of our experiments, we still came back to where we started, to realization that live video sales, if we want to sell and not to entertain, have to be on demand, one-on-one on the retailer's website or an application between shopper and shop assistant.
Can you take us through this thinking and the process that we went through a little bit more thoroughly?
The real challenge was to find the way to differentiate us from the obnoxious and rarely useful "How may I help yous?" all those support chats and chat bots. On the other hand, we wanted to make our service as affordable, easy to deploy, manage, and scale up as chatbots and support chats. Support chats have long since become familiar to shoppers. They're everywhere, on any website, in any application. Initially, when the traffic on websites was not so high, they were a useful source of additional information which effectively complemented any lack of crucial details about a product, or delivery terms, or availability of a certain item, discounts, that sort of things. But now online shops are much more packed. They are easier to navigate, most items are displayed with relevant descriptions. All the goods are accounted for automatically, and delivery is worked out pretty well. Therefore, classic support chats become a burden, an irritating little window instead of being a tool for resolving important issues. Such automatic solutions as chatbots certainly help a lot of high-traffic retailers to maintain and improve chat, but they have further narrowed down the range of scenarios in which an ordinary customer would use it. Actually, this is a more interactive and faster format of EFQ, and in recent days it's mostly perceived as a desperate and often forced way of interaction between shoppers and online shops. Small and medium-sized businesses tout chats with shoppers as roughly the most powerful tool for seducing people to buy things. Intimate, visually dense conversation with shop assistant, a person who most likely is an expert in the product and knows everything about it, is kind of a magic wand of conversation for small businesses, a most natural tool for social commerce, unavailable to big brands and retailers. Mass retail players try to reconquer this format of interaction, and they put a lot of effort in pumping up their chats on websites and social media. Just because they're bot-driven. Sure, since they learn all the time about people, AI and chatbots are getting more and more precise in their answers. Smart algorithms lead shoppers along some perfect scenario, offering individual discounts and special offers. The more chatbots and chat operators know people, the better they understand what information they need, and the less people like it. People want emotions, true empathy. They wish that someone or something on the other end of the conversation to really care about the choice they make, not just payment. We closely watched where all this chat-botting is heading, specifically how it develops in small businesses and on social media. And then we've come to realize that if we want to work at big scale, we need to give large retailers a simple solution, which intuitively connects an actual shop assistant in an offline shop or showroom with the shopper surfing the web page. And if we really want it to happen, we need to solve 3 key issues. 1. We need to find a way to instantly connect shopper's request to an available shop assistant in offline shop, where the requested item is in stock. Even now, most chat solutions imply that the person who is responding to shopper's question is an ordinary manager, sitting in an office behind a desk. They are not near the requested item and naturally unable to show it to the customer. Yes, this person can certainly video chat, share the screen, set some links to the recorded product demo, but this is basically it. Second, we had to find a way to stay on the website of the retailer and not to sway shopper to third-party services, messengers or applications. All communication between shopper and shop assistant, streams included, has to be in one place, on a product web page where shopper can buy it. A fair number of solutions that popped up during lockdown in search for simple ways to run communication redirected clients' requests to messengers. What seemed to be very convenient in theory proved to be discomforting in practice, especially for shoppers who came looking for products to a big online shop and not in the tiny Instagram enterprise account. People were not ready to share their private messengers details with big stores, and they didn't feel comfortable jumping back and forth from site to messengers and back again. Third, we had to find an easy, out-of-the-box way to deploy and maintain the service, control all processes, and scale it up to match high traffic. Basically, we had to unite hundreds of stores and thousands of shop assistants into a single network of social sales. We had to fully understand that we're dealing with a living, ever-changing thing: staff, time zones, working hours, products in stock, etc. We're not aware of any other solutions except Eyezon, which deal with scaling up operations, maintenance, and quality control on the same level of automation that we do. We provide our service to dozens of biggest retailers and brands, with hundreds of stores and 10,000 of video stream sales per month. All the existing solutions that we follow are still suffering from either of the 3 things. First, they lack focus on video sales. Even when this function is available, they present it as an additional feature in a standard chat window, and thus significantly lower conversion rate. Second, they are difficult to deploy. SDK solutions, for example, demand a lot of additional work to deploy and support on the side of the retailer. Third, the large number of stakeholders and vast management team make them too overmanaged to allow efficient integration of offline and online infrastructures.
Yep, modesty is probably not our strongest side. Let's give you a short break from our bragging to get your feedback on what approach to live stream commerce you find most interesting and scalable in digital transformation of modern retail. No matter how sure we are that our current Eyezon execution works great, we do understand that we are all playing our game in a very uncertain and rapidly changing field of new tech. We should be aware that in many respects, we are always to a certain degree wrong here.
Exactly. We are looking not for a single tool, but for a time-proof, flexible and highly adaptable future sales ecosystem that can easily include and extend new disruptive technology solutions and use fresh opportunities that they bring.
Vlad, as our user experience mastermind, what would you say is the most fundamental and future-proof experience idea behind the Eyezon solution?
In essence, all we do on all levels of shopping experience is about creating a feeling of instant transfer from product pages that are monotonous and overstuffed with information and mostly are the same for every retailer to a live communication with Shop Assistant and, in certain sense, with product itself. Unlike one-to-many streams, the power of this experience doesn't come from personal charisma and creativity of a streamer, but from the rediscovered ability to do online pretty much the same thing shoppers are used to do in offline shops. Approach the item, scrutinize it, ask for demo, compare it with the other product, get rid of all doubts, and finally decide to buy it. At present, to go through all these stages, shoppers need many different sources of information with different level of expertise and trust.
Standing for more natural, human and seamless customer journey from traction to transaction, in spite of a lot of skepticism during the customer development stage, we believe that we are creating the tool that should have very universal appeal. And indeed, this is exactly what happened. In just 8 months since the launch, Eyezon was adopted and fully implemented in a wide range of retail categories, from digital tech and home appliances through apparel and jewelry to DIY, furniture, and even food retail.
The appeal of the experience seems so universal that in all of these categories, we didn't find a single case where Eyezon wouldn't be deployed with a great enthusiasm. As one of our partners put it, it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. 1 meeting to prove and sell the concept, 2 weeks to test, deploy and launch the service, 3 months to fully scale it to almost all the product range, connect all stores and connect majority of sales staff.
Hi, my name is Elena Korshan. I am Innovations Director at Wavemaker, a network agency part of the Global Group M. We have outlined 3 key principles of working with startups when executing innovative projects for our clients. The first one is the focus on customers, which means the technologies should enhance the experience between a user and a brand. During the pandemic, when all the offline stores in major cities were closed, Eyezon helped us recreate live interaction with a customer online. So we created not just a virtual showroom where a customer could see the product, we provided them with an opportunity to interact with an actual human. Second principle is the simplicity of integration. We value solutions that do not require a total business transformation of the client, a 5-year rollout plan, or unreal pricing. It's important for a technology to be clear and simple in execution in the shortest span of time. That exactly was the case with Eyezon and Karcher. It took us just 1 meeting to approve the launch of the pilot, 2 weeks to prepare for the launch, as we were really short of time due to the pandemic situation. Then, during 3 months, we ran a pilot which demonstrated great results. It was also important that during all this period, we could literally test live different hypotheses and improve the results. And thirdly, its applicable nature of the technology and the measurable result for the business. The problem of the cart abandon rate is of high importance for retailers. The improvement of the conversion rate even by 1% from web traffic to purchase means hundreds and even thousands of sold items right here and now. With Eyezon, we focused on the motivation of the hesitant users and have reached great results, increasing conversion 2 times among those who have interacted with the Eyezon button. Therefore, Eyezon meets all the requirements to make a successful case. I definitely recommend this technology for retailers and, in general, any other online business.
Eyezon is so much more than a single tool. It is a highly balanced and fastly growing service ecosystem. As you could see, there are 3 tightly interconnected components: the widget, the app, and the control panel. These 3 seamlessly and in real time connect the 3 most important stakeholders of the Eyezon experience: your customers, your sales staff, and your e-commerce team. The heart and soul of all functionality and user experience that we create for all 3 of them is a dynamic and rich human connection. No matter what we do in order to improve any aspect of the experience, we never forget that the way in which Eyezon is employed, operated, and scaled has to stay as simple, easy, and organic as possible, because exactly this focus is what made Eyezon so eagerly picked up and used in our pilot market in such a short time and in extremely harsh market conditions of 2020. Natalia, hi. Could you give us a brief glance and tell us about the key thoughts and principles behind the Eyezon ecosystem development?
In today's overly competitive market and the spectacular growth of e-commerce, which we have all witnessed in 2020, we have come to the point when brands can't rely only on technologies and big data to help them win over their online and offline customers. Rapid developments in high-tech have led to near-universal access to technology. It has become the great equalizer. So today brands need to rethink their strategies and learn how to differentiate to win the hearts of their customers. And that's where human experience comes into play. Brands need to shift from personalized to personal marketing. No machine has yet learned how to interact and build genuine human connections like actual humans can. According to the recent study, a disclosure of a machine identity in the sales conversation with a customer reduces purchase rates by more than 79.9%. Turns out, when customers know the conversation partner is not a human, they're curt and purchase less because they perceive it as less knowledgeable and less empathetic. To implement a successful human experience strategy, it is essential to treat customers as individuals whose paths are yet uncharted. Personal, on-demand approach allows every customer to feel special. The experience we are all familiar with from physical shopping. With the ongoing growth of online purchasing and the overabundance of information, people search for simplicity and easiness, the one that tailored, on-demand, one-to-one interaction with a professional salesperson can offer. We hear how marketers say that human experience is now a new premium or even a luxury, but we don't think so. Human experience is basic and fundamental, and it was only the matter of bridging the right idea with the right technology to develop a tool which allows businesses of any scale and any geography to integrate human-centric approach in their customer online purchase journey.
values that Eyezon was built on are becoming more popular, and we have a growing number of clients who subscribe to our service, and they can have dozens of thousands of sales assistants. For such clients, we have created and continuously developed a user-friendly infrastructure management system, including management of the sales army, which you can now add directly from an Excel file, which is much faster, easier, and more convenient than doing it manually. Eyezon is easily scalable for businesses of any size. Today it takes from 3 to 7 days to launch Eyezon for a large e-commerce platform.
When we develop Eyezon, we never confine ourselves to just one particular area or tie the entire service to it. Eyezon is a sandbox where we build sales of the future. Therefore, when we issue updates, we make them as universal as possible and consider different business scenarios, so anyone can customize Eyezon according to their goals and needs. Let me tell you about your personal account and the basic settings of the widget. Our service allows to create an infinite quantity of buttons with a wide variety of settings that can serve virtually any functions that you might need. Every button has a title, so you can easily tell them apart. Multi-language support. Eyezon automatically detects the languages of a consumer device and adapts to it, so you can simply switch to languages you need to use in communications with customers. Chat color. As we're pursuing the idea of seamless experience, we want to give you all the tools for smooth integration of our widget into your website design and brand identity. In this section, you're welcome to set your brand's color as the default and the widget will show it. Request data from customers. We understand why some businesses want to collect data from the users who show interest in their product. You obviously want to use it, so we provided the tools that allow you to make some inquiries before shopper requests a stream. But we always remind our clients that such practice will lower conversion and suggest to use it very carefully. Add to cart request. As we've already mentioned, our main purpose is to make online shopping experience more diverse. So we made it possible to add an item to cart during the stream or in chat window. Shop Assistant too can offer add to cart option if there's need to do so. Notification placement. Online shops tend to have different design and structure. Sometimes standard places for icons just don't work. If that's your case, you can set any other place for chat icon on your website that will be visible for your clients and help them see new replies and return to conversation from any part of your web page. You can customize virtually any text in Eyezon in order to fine-tune the way you want to interact with shoppers and set optimal preferences for your business scenario. Welcome text. This is the first thing shoppers see when the widget opens. We suggest you make a brief introduction into the experience that they're about to have and explain why it's worth it. Request pending. You can customize the message shopper receives after they've requested a stream. You can set a countdown, so the shopper sees the remaining time until the session starts. This option, as we've learned, improves consumers' temper greatly. And while they're waiting, there's a game that helps killing time. Processing requests if the timer is up. Sometimes something prevents shop assistants from replying on time. So in this case, shopper is offered to leave an email or switch browser notifications on to receive a link to the stream when shop assistant is ready. This feature helps to bring shoppers back to the website if they have already left the page. And there's also a way to change default text here. Processing requests while streamers are absent. Shoppers can request stream even when there are no available streamers, late at night, for example. But they would need to leave their email or turn browser notifications on. Only then they'd receive link to a stream. Here also there's a way to change the default text for request or reply to request function. Customer evaluation of the dialogue. You can set up the evaluation system in Eyezon that helps to understand the quality of stream and performance of a shop assistant. Once shopper has ended the session, we ask them to rate it on a 5-to-1 scale. If the stream was rated well, we ask the shopper what they liked best. In case the stream was rated poorly, we ask what was unsatisfactory. Request templates. We admit that sometimes shoppers don't know what exactly they want to learn about the product or have difficulties with expressing it correctly. In this case, we help them by providing with inquiry templates and gently push towards communication with shop assistants. Besides, we don't stop at what we've done already and keep on updating the service. One of the updates is setting the time of the stream. We know that sometimes people just cannot quickly respond to an inquiry and show a product. This is why we're working on mechanics of delayed streams and let businesses use live sales even if they normally just don't do them. Another feature that we're working on is SMS notifications. We want to make our service as seamless as possible and provide our clients with convenient and fast tools to notify shoppers.
Thanks, Vlad. Bye-bye. This level of user experience flexibility on both sides, your customer and your operator, makes Eyezon usage scenarios literally unlimited. An instant product showcasing in tech and appliances with an extra important comparison and demonstrating different benefits of different models in a matter of minutes. Demonstration of clothes, footwear and sportwear material quality, elements of design and comfort features. Access to after-sales services in car industry, purchase of additional accessories, control of ongoing repair work in service centers, making a scheduled appointment and visiting the real estate together with your agent, getting a full excursion and answering all of your questions live. Even choosing your fresh food and beverages in the grocery department in real time with the help of the delivery person on the spot. Usage scenarios are limitless and limited only by retailers' creativity and willingness to understand hidden pain points of his customers that can be solved just by properly connecting them to those who are motivated and have necessary expertise to answer them on the spot in real time. Okay, so we're talking about different usage scenarios for our Eyezon in terms of industries and businesses and customer experience. So the different ways that you can use it, one and the same experience in a variety of different ways. And we also went through the widget settings, through the sandbox experience that we're trying to create that allows you to set up the service and set up the customer experience and the salesperson experience and the operator's experience in the best fitting way possible for your business. Now, what I would like to do further is to go a little bit through the best practices and the ways that widget is actually living on your website and the opportunities and the interesting experiences that you can deliver. Kirill?
Hello.
Hi.
We've collected some best user experience practices for Eyezon button and dialog widget. And would like to share them with you. Take these as a thought starter. Remember, there is no one-size-fits-all correct template. Your industry, your website design, and the expectations of your customers should be decisive factors here. First, and probably most important thing, is to name Eyezon button correctly and place it prominently on your product page. As for the naming, we stand for what you see is what you got principle. The name of the button should describe precisely what it does for the customer. It's better to use verbs than nouns. Verbs suggest action, making click-through rate higher. The most common way to place the Eyezon button is somewhere near product information and the Add to Cart button. In this case, Eyezon button has to be prominent enough to catch customers' attention. Here is an example from one of our clients. The button itself is placed perfectly, right next to product info and the photos. At the same time, we think it doesn't really stand out as much as it deserves. Still, we believe our clients know best, and if it works for them, we're happy. Here is another example from our client. Notice how the button is located close to product images and other relevant information, but still close enough to Add to Cart button, which makes it quite visible. The guys got creative with the button design and added a lot of useful info to it. The customer is explained what's going to happen when they click the button, what are the working hours of the salespeople, and even notified that they won't have to turn on their camera. Another option to place the button on the page is to integrate it directly into the image gallery, so that the customer is suggested to ask for a live demo while browsing photos. It is a great native way to promote products that are shopped for mainly visually, for example, clothing and accessories. Finally, there is an option to include the button into a pop-up window that is triggered by certain behaviors of the customer on the page, like opening detailed product info, adding the item to comparison list, and so on. We urge you to consider those scenarios carefully, so that the button doesn't become intrusive. After the customer clicked the button, a dialog widget is opened. At this moment, you need to tell the customer what's ahead and what they can do. You can tell them again that this is going to be a live demo of the product and that they won't need to turn on their camera. We have an option to place question templates right above the text entry field, so that the customer could just click what's closest to their request. This reduces cognitive load and makes it easier for them to start interaction with you. You can collect contact information from the customers and even make it obligatory if you need. Please mind that customers generally hate to share their personal info with online services, so bounce rate will most probably increase. Another option is to show customers a welcoming video with the person telling them what to expect, urging to share their contact information with you, and so on. We found that such video removes a lot of barriers customers may have and significantly reduces bounce rate.
By the way, we are also very interested in what are your thoughts and what are your ideas and possible usage scenarios that you find interesting. So feel free to share your opinion or ideas below, and we can discuss it a bit closer to the end with a Q&A session. Having Eyezon on your online web store or the app is a great thing. But what we were thinking lately and starting testing and piloting, and will prolong testing and piloting in the next couple of months very intensively, is trying to find the new ways to use the service beyond these assets. So one of the most interesting ideas and scenarios for using Eyezon more widely and reaching to wider audiences and create this purchase conversion impact beyond your online website or web app is to use any offline or online material, ad material, communication material that you use for product promotions or brand communication, and turn it into a one-click doorway into the store. What does this mean? It means that virtually any billboard ads, city formats, ambient media, print media, catalogs, leaflets, booklets, in any materials where you're basically promoting a product or a service, you can add a QR code that by scanning directly in a matter of 1 or 2 minutes triggers a video session with the salesperson or the promoter or the consultant in the store who is ready to showcase the product and do the direct sales. In short, what we are trying to achieve is to turn each and every advertising material, offline or online, by using it as a trigger and as a one-click entrance into a direct video sales interaction. We believe that this approach will give us a lot of additional traffic, and that's interesting for us as a service, but to you as a retailer, it gives a completely different angle of how you're using your ad campaigns and your available ad formats. When you can turn any ad, image ad or tactical ad, into a one-click direct sales session via the video with a conversion of 15 to 20%, you will most definitely want to use it, because you're basically cutting down the marketing funnel, all the middle part of the marketing funnel, using awareness materials to transfer the customer directly and land him into the purchase. So the offline materials, we are going to use QR codes. By scanning the QR code, customer gets directly pushed into the store, and in a matter of 1 or 2 minutes, he gets the video translation. When it comes to online materials like banners, online videos, or any other context ads, the click of a button on the banner or the online video directly takes customer with a pop-up, directly takes customer into the video session. We are basically turning all of your ad materials into a potentially direct sales channels.
Employees in general and sales force in particular are the main asset of almost any business. During the pandemic, it was suddenly cast aside, all the key functions paralyzed. We believe it's not right to waste people's talents, no matter the situation. On the contrary, we want them to thrive and grow in quality. Communication via Eyezon is a totally new experience for everyone, for shop assistants and managers as much as for consumers. Not that they don't know how to sell or how to purchase, no, but from the toolbox perspective, they have surely never done anything like that before. So, our main focus is to make this experience as smooth as possible and as natural as breathing. And more so for large companies with complex infrastructure and a lot of employees.
Initially, when we deployed the service in our company, we've decided to scale it up at maximum. As a result, during several months, we connected to the service around 50 shops and 1,000 streamers. After all these months of working this way, we've realized that this approach is not exactly correct, since number of streamers grew as quickly as number of requests, and people didn't have time to practice in a process. Today, our marketing program includes 5 shops and up to 50 streamers. This allows to help streamers work at maximum capacity. We estimate that one shop assistant can easily cover 30 to 50 requests in one day. This way, streamers practice and perfect their performance. Our main purpose is to ensure expertise of our shop assistants and build quality consumer path for our shoppers. Therefore, we focus on letting people grow their expertise. At present, we have developed a special 15 minutes long immersive training which allows our shop assistants to learn more about working with the app. It's a video training format, and shop assistants simply love it. When we were developing education program for our employees, we wanted to add video sales to their skill set. Just, complement your stream with such obvious details as don't turn your camera on when going to the product and spare the shopper from the view of the floor. Or when you round up the demo, switch camera to selfie mode and let the client see your face and feel the presence of an actual consultant at home. All these aspects make the sale more emotional, and in essence, this is what we wanted to achieve when we were first deploying the service. When we train our shop assistants, we're getting feedback, and it helps us to perfect selling scripts. Our people suggested great number of useful things, which we adopted, like highlighting the city where the request is coming from, or instant messaging, which let consultants quickly answer to frequently asked questions. At present, we get up to 900 requests daily, with conversion to stream around 50% and conversion to purchase around 20%. In the Eeyezon business mobile app, the shop assistant can respond to shoppers' inquiries. We have tried to make this application as user-friendly as possible, so it only takes a couple of clicks to respond to requests. We sorted them this way to help shop assistants respond faster and make user experience better. Once shopper has asked a question on the website, shop assistant receives a push notification about new request. By clicking on it, they go to the incoming request tab. Each request has a ticket with the basic information, product title, and request description. However, there are online stores that sell tens of thousands of items. Naturally, the streamer cannot keep in mind all of the products, so we added an option: link to the requested product. After a shop assistant has decided to answer the request, a chat window opens, and there all the interaction with the shopper takes place. It is important to know that if the shopper has filled in the personal info section, shop assistant would see it as a separate message in the chat. So the main tool for interacting with shopper is live stream, where shop assistant sees messages from shopper and hears what he or she says. Among other things, shop assistant can switch the camera from the main to the front one during the stream. Before starting each session, the app checks the quality of internet connection to ensure acceptable broadcast quality. If the internet does not allow streaming with required quality, it simply would not start, and shopper would be spared suffering from poor performance. After the session has ended, shopper goes back to chat window and can continue to interact with shop assistant in any other convenient way: text or voice messages, photo or video content. Eyezon push notifies shop assistants about incoming messages, so they won't miss them. They simply need to click notification to go back to the conversation. When session ends, shopper sees appropriate notification and is offered to evaluate shop assistant's performance. In addition to the list of requests, the main screen has a button for switching status to show whether Shop Assistant is ready to accept requests or not. There's also a transition to the profile page. In the profile, Shop Assistant sees a settings button, a tab with the current balance, and a coupons tab. Let's talk about it in more detail. Coupons is an engagement tool that helps to motivate Shop Assistants to put more effort into product presentation during the stream, as well as into some other activities on the app. If they do well, they collect points which can later be swapped for various coupons. A coupon is a tool for business to reward Shop Assistants. You create them in your personal account and then make them available in Shop section of the app. After Shop Assistant has swapped points for a coupon, it appears in Wallet section for later use. The coupons can grant almost anything, well actually you do, since it is you who assigns their purpose and value. Now let's talk about application settings. Settings allow Shop Assistants to manage their work schedule and response templates. Additionally, there is Log Out button in the section. But let's go through them step by step. Work schedule. Sometimes shoppers are careless enough to request stream in the dead of the night. At that time, there are usually no available Shop Assistants to respond. It becomes a big issue. The service doesn't work as it should. So we offered Shop Assistants to set working hours when they are available for streams. Now, if shoppers request a stream at an appropriate time, they get notification and can leave their contacts for a later session. Response templates. Sometimes Shop Assistants become very busy indeed, having to answer hundreds of requests. Usually it means that they have to repeat the same messages again and again, which is not very inspiring and very time-consuming. Therefore, we issued response templates. With their help, Shop Assistant can write infinite number of frequently used messages, sort them conveniently, and use them for chatting. All Shop Assistant needs to do is to press the text, and it will go directly into the chat. As for default camera controls, Shop Assistant chooses camera for streaming in each session. We constantly improve the app according to the requests from the clients. The other thing we pay much attention to is the app settings, widening the range of customizable tools. Our designers work to make UX even better with each update, since it directly influences quality of Shop Assistant's performance and overall shopping experience. The other thing which is rather important for business is an opportunity to monitor and evaluate Shop Assistant's performance according to specific criteria. For that, we have the system of analytics, which allows you to see in the personal profile all the details of how streamers did the sales.
Thank you, Misha. All three pillars of Eyezon service, the widget, the app, and your war room, are built with a huge amount of content and interaction data in mind. You collect an immense amount of service usage, sales staff performance, and shopper video interaction data every day. Obviously, you want these data to help you increase the overall quality and efficiency of how you use Eyezon against your KPIs. Also, you want to extract as many actionable shopper insights out of this unique content as possible. Luba, can you explain us a little bit more about what we have to offer in this respect?
We know how crucial analytics and efficiency control may be to our clients. So we have a complex of analytics tools which allows our client to be well informed about our service performance. Let's have a quick look to each of them. First of all, we have a dashboard inside our personal Eyezon account. Here you can see how it looks like. We have a data filter which you can apply to see data for a specific period. At the bottom of the dashboard you can see up-to-date accumulated statistics of main metrics: button clicks, total requests, average stream duration, and average response time. There are some graphics with the detailed statistics under. The first graphic is interactive, and you can apply a variety of filters to switch between views of day-by-day data. There are 4 views here: clicks, requests and streams, bounce rate, average stream duration, request response time, and pie chart at the left side illustrates the share of business hours requests. Your business hours are accounted based on your streamer's activity. If at least one streamer is online, we count it to business hour. We have 2 views of data expert: buttons data and dialog data. Let's start with Buttons Data Expert. You can choose data period, buttons, and expert statistic to Excel file will be sent to your email. Buttons Data Expert consists of the main performance parameters: button name, date, number of button clicks, number of sent requests, bounce rate, number of accepted requests, processed requests with messages from sales staff, requests accepted without seller's messages, deleted requests without seller's messages, client reaction quantity, client's deleted dialog prior to seller response quantity, client's interrupting dialog quantity, streams, average stream session length, average request acceptance time, average request response time, request sent during working time quantity. Dialog data consists of more parameters and allows our client to dive deeper in Eyezon performance. This file allows you to analyze every customer's request in details. And there is a huge number of metrics. I would like to pay your attention to the most interesting. Here you can track not only quantitative metrics, but also qualitative. For example, voice connection, stream duration, customer reactions and feedback. Also, here you can download dialog in JSON format, including text, audio and video files. Our meticulous approach to analytics allows our client to build end-to-end efficiency funnel. We are open to analytics data cross-sharing. You can share your web analytics and internal CRM data to our dashboard, as well as we can share Eyezon data to your internal analytics tools using extended script parameter settings. We have illustrated the perfect efficiency funnel here. Number of product card views and number of unique clicks our client can track with their web analytics tools, for example, Google Analytics, Alexa, Adobe Analytics, and transfer this data to their Eyezon dashboard. Number of unique streams requests and number of unique streams our client can upload from their personal accounts. And finally, add to cart and purchase events our client can also transfer to their Eyezon dashboard from the internal analytics tool or CRM system. Eyezon generated thousands of video items per day. We are carefully storing this content and also we are analyzing it to make our client know more about their customers and their businesses. We have two research products. The first one allows our client to get real-time shopper insights based on their Eyezon video content. One shopper video session is 7 actionable insights. Qualify the customers in terms of their shopping journey stage, quality and level of engagement with the product, key criteria and drivers for product evaluation, alternative products in her consideration set, main barriers for making a well-informed decision, level of trust readiness for upsells and loyalty extras, additional profiler or specific customer segment and persona. The second customer research is about sales team efficiency tracking. How your sales team follow their sales script. Does your sales team suggest complementary products while streaming? Does your sales team suggest alternative products, brands while streaming? Our custom sales team efficiency research can answer all these questions and deliver qualitative insights about your client's sales team's efficiency. For example, do you know that customers don't need to see faces of sales staff? 93% of sales are generated with those stream sessions in which shop assistants didn't show their faces. 64% of stream sessions with a variety of products completed with purchase, so please demonstrate alternatives to motivate customers to purchase. Special offers and discounts generate 50% of sales, but shop assistants don't use it frequently. Only a quarter of stream sessions contains information about special offers and discounts. Meanwhile, 50% of all sales in sample were generated within stream sessions, which includes information about offers and discounts. Every third stream session, which includes work with objections and with sale. So work with objections actively and increase your sales. And please don't forget to tell about complementary products and services, because 30% of stream sessions include complementary products and services presentations completed with purchase. So keep abreast of your inline retail efficiency with Eyezon and stay tuned.
One thing that I want to add here, because we are kind of in between the webinar format and developer's diary format, so I want to add another innovation that is going to be piloted. It's already being prepared, going to be piloted during the February and March in several markets. This is basically taking the experience that you've seen right now, where your salespeople in the stores, additional stuff if needed, promotional stuff in seasonal peaks, but at the core, this is your salespeople in the stores and showrooms, or your partners or vendors who are selling through your retail, who are connected to the service. We are pushing this and taking this even one step forward and allowing those brands and retailers who really believe in their loyalty of their audience, loyalty to the brand, in their brand power, to engage and recruit their own customers into the one-on-one reviewing, live reviewing experience. So basically the same experience that you've seen right now between the salesperson and the customer is going to happen between a customer who is interested into your product at this very moment and the customer who already bought the product and agreed to review this product 1, 2, 3, 5 times. That's your decision. What are the terms for a specific discount, future discount, or any other reward, to share his experience about this product live to your customer. There are a lot of barriers here and a lot of risks here, but we found this already while testing it in a limited way with several businesses. We found that it really works well for those brands who have within their customer base, who have really engaged in a way professional consumers who are really into the category and into the brand, and they are not influencers, they are not bloggers, they're just like regular folks who are ready to share their opinion, especially if it's incentivized. And the main thing here is that everybody knows that this is an incentivized experience. So when your customer comes and asks for a product using our widget, your customer who already bought the product is being notified through the text push, SMS push. He doesn't have to have any app, no app downloads is needed. By going through the link, he's either making an appointment for a session or doing it immediately, sharing his experience and getting his rewards. All of this, including incentivization system, is already built into the widget. So you can program it, you can connect it to your CRM and your loyalty programs seamlessly, and you can basically test and learn from it. So it's not for everyone right now. In like 5 years, I believe for everyone. But it will be an interesting way, specifically for certain categories like cars, for example, automobiles, to try and see what is the potential of your loyal brand fan base in terms of direct sales. Now let's move on from here.
I think we cannot emphasize enough the fact how quickly, in a matter of months, Eyezon grew from a cool experimental feature into a rich and powerful sales instrument for even the most large and complicated businesses and industries. Besides, obviously, a very cool product. Probably the most important reason for this is our approach to product development. Each and every feature or UX solution that we have created last year was done from start to finish in tight connection to operating managers, sales directors and sales staff being involved throughout the process. With thousands of improvements ideas being generated each month, one of our strongest assurance that we are on the right track and doing the right thing is a streamlined approach to our clients' actual life with our product every day and night for those stores that work 24/7. The way in which we gather insights and initiatives is extremely open and interactive. Each and every stakeholder, from top management to a salesperson in the store, have equal access to our feedback and feature request forms. And this feedback is actually being structured, reviewed on a weekly basis by our core team with no exclusions whatsoever and communicated back to stakeholders instantly.
three main product development focuses for this year are to make Eyezon significantly more mobile, smart, and engaging. Mobility is going to be addressed with testing, adapting, and launching a variety of wearable and fully hands-free hardware solutions for sales and promoter staff that will increase their live streaming capacity over 2 times. Smartphones are good, and they will always be the most common and simple way for consultants to interact with your customers. But we do see a huge potential, especially for our large retail clients, to lower the overall costs and increase the performance by creating an opportunity for a more streamlined approach to using our service to a full potential. We also want Eyezon service to become a much smarter partner for you when it comes to making all of the data and insights that you can gather with it much more actionable in as many areas as possible. To achieve that, we are soon going to be adding a computer vision-based components and advanced algorithms to automatize the analysis and quality monitoring of all of the content and customer interactions as much as possible. This will unleash the power of the unique set of shopper data and insights that are hidden in hundreds of thousands of video stream sessions that you will generate across all of your product range. Finally, we just could not ignore a wide range of AR solutions that can be quite easily integrated into the way your customers interact with you, your product, and your shop within their live stream shopping experience. Enriching the information that customer gets by a visual in a dialogue with a salesperson with additional layers of information and product experience on demand will take your customer live stream shopping experience even closer to the real life shopping. Some of these things are at an early stage of development and some of them are already being tested, and we are very open to partner up and work tightly with those who are willing to try and learn about them in live action and to contribute into their overall build quality.
Hello, my name is Matvey, and I'm the lead QA in the Eyezon team. I want to tell you about quality control of our product from 2 sides, through the prism of business needs and a little about internal quality control systems. First and foremost, we're always in touch with business that have installed our button. We process all performance inquiries, and if necessary, we quickly resolve them and notify clients as soon as possible. But in any case, our internal quality control and automatic testing system notifies us of any issues on the client side faster than they detect them and send us bug reports. On the part of maintaining quality and smooth performance of our service for an enterprise client, there is an automatic and daily manual testing of all the main functions of the product. It is important for business that the sales tool, if necessary, works at any time of the day, and for that we have. First, automatic tests that check performance of our button for each enterprise client every 20 minutes, keeping us informed around the clock. Second, QC of performance of all internal systems, from monitoring streaming servers to statistics servers and database. Third, our instant response to any unforeseen incident, as well as continuous contact and close collaboration with the development team for the timely resolution of any issues.
Eyezon is first and foremost a service development company. When it comes to high-end technology solutions and the pace in which we want to integrate them within our service ecosystem, we have set our ambitions very high. To keep this focus and keep as much space for breakthrough thinking and fast improvement of our service, we created a very open and flexible distribution and service model. Beyond selling and supporting our service directly to our clients, we do it also through wide range partnerships that include or will soon include your trusted partners and digital transformation agencies, from digital media and advertising and digital transformation partners to IT developers and integrators. The service deployment, management and support is so simple and automized that any of your preferred trusted partners can pick it up very quickly and use it, being limited only by their creativity and ambitions to explore its fullest potential.
Recently, we have taken this approach even further, and we have made our service fully integratable into your providers and partners' B2B service ecosystems. In our pilot market, we have already made Eyezon even more widely available to the most conservative clients even, by integrating our service into largest telco companies, financial and IT logistics players ecosystem as the private label product. So basically you will see a lot of us soon in your providers. These partners can now create and integrate and launch Eyezon service fully within their own service range and with plenty of additional benefits for you in a matter of weeks. So once you've made a decision to try it or to go for it, you can try contacting us directly, or you can, in near future, we'll be able to find us probably in your business partners across these categories. Basically, here I would probably want to answer a couple of questions that I've seen during the previous part of our conversation or monologues. Is two questions that I think are important in particular to understand what we are about. So there's one question about the motivation. Can it be at one point that sales assistant would rather work with live streams than with actual people in the offline store? And what are the best practices? So for best practices, we are going to give you a post-event some content, but basically the motivation for work is really high. From all of the cases that we have, really salespeople in the stores are actually really motivated. And one part was that it was a pandemic, so a very insecure situation for people working in brick and mortar, in offline. So they were additionally motivated to apply their skills in this way. But also after the pandemic part went a bit down, and in our market it was like starting August till this moment, we see the growth of overall penetration of our service in terms of salespeople connected across all of our clients. So the motivation is high. We didn't see, all I can say is that we do not register, we do not see any conflicts or issues between their offline duties working with customers in here, because most of the bigger brands and bigger retailers are probably we're to some extent lucky. Maybe we'll bump in these kind of problems in the future, and I think we'll deal with them. But at this moment, we didn't see any conflict. Actually, it is quite a seamless thing. If you have like 2.5 minutes average session, which ends in like 15 to 20% in sales in online, and you actually spend 10 additional seconds to connect and to connect with your customer and to close the deal, you're really not being more distracted than you usually are as a salesperson in the store on the floor with some other stuff that you're doing. Our clients are committing specific sales staff and doing the trainings and retrainings and additional fine-tunings of the scenarios and also how they behave in the store. We have also trainings for that, so they are not looking into their phones and etc. So we can contact us, please, and we're going to share our best practices in more thorough and probably more rich manner. And the second question, and I have to be quick here, is that the question was about the what's the usual roadmap of running a pilot project with our tool? How do you recommend large businesses to start using it and then scale? Our approach in general versus most of I don't like word competition, other players in the field globally, was to go top to bottom. So until we've cracked how this thing can be deployed in matter of days, tested in matter of weeks, and scaled in matter of months, 2 or 3 months, we haven't been launching. We are just testing with bigger clients. So due to the fact that Eyezon is designed to be deployed, operated, and scaled by large retail, and then after that to be really friendly in the other hand, to be really friendly to middle and small businesses as well, provides us really, I mean, the best answer to your question, considering this, is that average percent of products in #1 retailers in category like electronics, tech, or apparel or food is at least starting with at least 10 to 20% of the range, of overall range, connecting 2 to 3 flagship stores with up to 10 to 20 streamers, so salespeople on the floor constantly being connected, right? So a bit more overall. This is the starting point. And then we are doing a lot of back and forth analytics together with you. We provide a team, not just a manager, but a team who is actually very closely looking at what's going on in terms of your salespeople experience, in terms of the manager who is operating the service, in terms of your customer experience, is doing a lot of analysis 24/7 on the fly for like 2 or 3 weeks after the initial test launch. And we get all of the figures and we understand the tempo in which you want to scale it. So it's quite different for many clients, but overall, in 1.5 to 2 months, most of our clients, and I'm referring big retail, leaders in their categories, is basically using service on more than 50% of their product range and involving engaging at least like 1/3 of their flagship stores across very wide geography. We're in Russia here, so it's really wide geography, and it works. For all of the additional information, please do contact us. We like to obviously talk, and we like to share a lot of information and figures that we can, if we're allowed with our current partners, and we are, we're very open to share the best practices and experiences. And also we are giving you direct references to the clients who are already using the service, who deployed it and who are scaling it, and we're not afraid of that. So we will give you a direct connection to our top retailers who are using the service in Russia right now, so you can ask them everything you want.
Hi there. At Eyezon, we take full responsibility for stable operation of services and storing and processing user data. This is why we tend to build the infrastructure as close to our customers as possible, so we can ensure high availability of our services and meet the security requirements for storing and processing data in the regions of presence. At the moment, our infrastructure is extended into 3 regions: America, Europe, and CIS countries. Those systems are secure and completely independent, so we guarantee that what was launched in the American segment remains in the American segment. We're constantly improving the quality and security of our services and products, and we are ready to scale the infrastructure up to the required capacity. When we were choosing data centers, we thought about the security of our customers' data not only on the hardware and software level, but also on the physical level. Our data centers are protected from physical intrusion and are equipped with complex multi-tier access control system, including CCTV cameras and biometric access. Our data centers are situated in the Washington, D.C., San Jose, Falkenstein, and Helsinki, and are Tier 3 certified 99.9% availability, valid ISO 27001, 2014 and PCI DSS certifications. Note that PCI DSS allows processing payment card data and complies with the data protection standards of the Visa and MasterCard systems. We use Amazon S3 for storing the streams. Amazon S3 offers 99.999999% reliability. Those are 11 nines. It is a reliable storage solution. When developing our services and building our infrastructure, we adhere to the best practices of OWASP. And as you can see, in each of the regions, we have created the infrastructure ready to launch global projects.
Eyezon, as well as all the products within its infrastructure, are not being integrated inside the client website nor become a part of their business. As a front-end solution, it only complements the existing framework. Nonetheless, we always pay great attention to the security and compliance factors in all the internal procedures and our own infrastructure. We undergo security audit 2 times a year, And from the very start, we made sure our software solutions and procedure complied with GDPR and CCPA. For example, all personal data of the users is stored and processed only on the territory of their origin. Even though we were just a small startup in the beginning, now we are meeting all the requirements any international company can have, including the product development part. We have all the necessary certificates, procedure, and process to work on a global level. And now we are undergoing a Salesforce audit to finalize our partnership with them.
Okay, so we're wrapping it up here. There are probably three things that I would want to say to properly wrap up the session, and then again, after the information that you've got and the information that you will get after the event and have the opportunity to go through, there are three things that I want to emphasize. First is that there are a lot of solutions in the market. We are really confident in what we have, not just in terms of the product sturdiness and quality and the experience that it provides from all sides, not just to the customer. But the most differentiating thing that we are actually selling you is the scalability. There are a lot of instruments that are playing with the idea of turning direct sales and the brick and mortar sales experience and reintroducing it into digital. And many of them are doing it in an interesting way, differently, but in interesting ways, still mostly failing to scale. There are some really interesting players that we respect as well. I won't advertise them. But we do believe that we are the most scalable and instrument for one-on-one on-demand live video sales, and in many respects the only one, and that we've proved it. And in the most difficult conditions, we were ready for it. The product was developed for 2.5 years before the pandemic. So in 2017 we started, when it was totally not a thing to think about optimizing or enhancing online customer experience with kind of a step back into a kind of more analog live experiences, right? We got a lot of questions like how this is scalable, what's the return on investment here, and etc. We were like, we don't know. 2.5 years ago, we were just doing it because we really believe that at a specific point in future, when we hit the limit of the enhanced user experience by data and by AR and VR and very promising technologies that are going to seriously disrupt the market in this decade, we kind of kept the faith that this decade is going to be a decade of human connection in all respects, and that it should be also true for retail and the way that we sell and buy. So the main first thing that I want to emphasize is that the seamless, really simple, easy, and very human experience that we are trying to provide when connecting people that are so distant, actually, one in front of your product page and the other one who is actually on your floor. The second thing that I wanted to emphasize is that when it comes to scalability, and I'm going to say that word again, scale, everything that we do for each 2 weeks for last year since launch, since piloting launch, each 2 weeks, we have sprint one in each 2 weeks, we are adding in average 2 to 3 features from all sides to the business app that salespeople use, to your war room, to control panel in terms of analytics and visibility, ability to manipulate and change settings on the fly, and to the customer experience as well. And we are doing it really in a really tight connection. This is not just a phrase. We are really tightly connected with all of the clients that we do, because our advantage is that we are working with large clients, not because we're greedy, we are, but because this is the best way to learn of what is actually scalable and what is not, is to work very tightly with the most demanding and the most complex business ecosystem that you can imagine, which is large omnichannel retail. And the third thing that I want to say, and this will allow me to get back to the questions part seamlessly, is that at the moment we are very focused on cracking up this equilibrium issue in situation when you are cutting down your offline part of your ecosystem, and you will, I mean, there's no doubt you will do it in the future, and you would cut it down significantly, hopefully not to zero, and growing your online sales and growing your brand potential in digital in general. So there's an equilibrium. This is not something that can happen overnight. It is happening for quite a few years already, and now it's getting faster. But we're all living in a reality where you have to plan and you have to balance between these two very, very disconnected parts of the ecosystem. Many clients like to claim that they're very connected in their case, but in most of the cases they are not. Luckily, some of our clients are really nailed this, and we learned a lot from them. So cutting down your offline shouldn't be just a quantity measure. It should be also a pursuit for quality, because the main asset that you do not want to deny yourself in this decade is the current expertise that you have in creating a unique customer experience during the sales process. This is what brick and mortar is all about. So you can cut the square meters, you can cut your flagship stores, you can transform them in showrooms, you can turn them into Teleshop 2.0 studios. You can do a lot of it, and you will, no doubt, and you should. But the biggest influencer and the most valuable asset for you is the person who is really losing grounds under his feet. And it's a social issue. It's not just a business optimization issue. It's a huge social issue. Like each 10th or 15th person in most of your markets is involved in sales, is working in sales this way or another. So this person has a huge value that is very underappreciated right now. And what we want to achieve is to really get back to the time using new technology, using a lot of interesting ways and approaches that big data allows us, VR, AR, mixed reality, and everything else, machine learning, but to build it around the experience that allow people to innovate in a way that they sell and to reveal their sales talent again, because sales is eventually what probably the biggest industry in human history, right? So the third thing and the last thing that I want to say is that mostly when we're speaking about this, everybody is asking about so what are the conditions, what are the terms, how does it happen? We have a process of deployment and testing and scaling that is very, very customizable. So we are not pushing you into doing pilots just for the sake of pilots so we can have a news article about it or whatever from one side, but from the other side, we are not pushing you into making any decisions and financial commitments, high financial commitments, long-term commitments, into scaling this immediately. It's a sandbox experience pretty much as our widget is. So you can use it in a variety of different ways and change it on the fly. Financially or organizationally, and in terms of management of the process, starting with a test phase and then deployment and then all of the other phases, it is very flexible, and we are very open, and we are still exploring. I mean, this segment of the market is in its total infancy. We are learning together with you, and this means that our company right now is quite small for this scale of the business that we reach right now. So we are like 30 people, under 30 people. We are growing really quickly, but at the moment we're 30 people. And you can be absolutely sure that at this stage, if we are working together, we are much more interested into learning together with you, not doing a lot of mistakes, obviously, but learning together with you and being very, very keen to try the things that you feel most comfortable with from the one side, but from the other side, to give you instruments that would challenge you in a positive way to reconsider what your brick and mortar is and what it can be. And the last thing I want to say, there's one of the probably most interesting question is the question of the motivation, both for salespeople being live streamers for your business, so the people who are already in the staff, or your potentially loyal customers, what the motivation is. It might sound naive, but we really believe that the biggest motivation for both of your salespeople, obviously they're materially motivated and they should be incentivized, and you most probably have programs that incentivize their better performance in their regular sales. So you would, and as most of our clients is doing, you would just apply it to Eyezon experience as well. But the biggest motivation for both salespeople and potentially loyal customers is actually, from what we learned for the last 6 to 8 months, of intensive usage, is that actually the very experience of stepping out of the very routine and in a way very automatic, not boring, it's very informative. When you're using your website to make purchases, it's really easy. It's very informative, there's abundance of information, we're already automatized in the way that we're using it. But this moment when you get disrupted and you get connected with a person who is either recommending directly to you the product that they like, not through the review websites or the review apps, but to you directly, sharing their opinion, or the salesperson who is greeting you next minute from the product page in the store, at the shelf with the product, showing it, opening it, demonstrating it, is emotionally so valuable, not just this moment, in pandemic period, COVID period, but it's so valuable, and especially we found it's very valuable for people under 30, 35. So everybody younger than 30, 35, what we discovered, really like to be sold. Actually, the number of questions that they give and the amount of hard selling even within this format that they're ready to receive from the salesperson is immense. They have lower income, lower purchase power, they have a lot of problems, the younger generation says, and they really value each buck that they're actually using to buy our products, and they want to be sold. This is the first generation after 20 or 30 years for whom affordability, abundance, accessibility of online is okay. That's very native for them, that's just obvious. But they really want to be sold. They want that extra effort from your side, and the best person to do it is your salesperson. Nevertheless, we are taking this much, much further. There was one more question, and I will wrap up, promise. There was one more question, are businesses that we work with right now using only their own salespeople and sales consultants on the floor in their stores, or they're hiring extra staff? Actually, we have quite a lot of examples, and this happened naturally. We didn't even reckon that might happen. That was a total surprise for us, that one of our first and the biggest clients at that moment, actually first thing that they figured is that they could connect not only their salespeople to brands and products on their web pages, but they can actually connect brands, showrooms of brands, vendors that are actually selling on their website. So there are a lot of interesting cases there where you are going to, people are coming to your web store asking for questions, but getting a demonstration, a session from a highly trained person who is actually at the brand showroom and being even more motivated than your salesperson in the store to close the deal. So this is one way to extend the potential, using not just your sales staff, but partnering up, basically it's trade marketing, right? Partnering up with brands in their showrooms and their promoter staff in high seasons, for example, connecting the widget and driving the traffic toward the promotional spaces, pop-up showrooms where brand promoters prepared and ready are doing the direct sales. So that's one way to expand it. The other way is to expand it, as I already said a couple of times, is C2C experience, or P2P, peer-to-peer, when you're using your most valuable asset, your highly loyal customer base from your CRM. So you click it in, you connect the service, and we are basically engaging your highly loyal customers to help you, not to promote the brand, to market it, but actually to sell it and getting their fair cut for it. And the incentivization program is already built into the widget and into the service, so you can control it either from your side or you can control it within our service ecosystem. It's your call. And the last thing that you can take it and expand it, and I cannot emphasize this enough as a person who spent almost 20 years in advertising, is that when you just imagine that you're taking this same experience with no additional technology cost and translating it to all of the ad materials with huge bounce rates and growing costs, CPC and CPM costs, when you're looking at a banner or a context ad or a video ad pre-roll that you just want to end with, when you turn it into an actionable instrument, so you're showing the product or showing the brand claim and inviting a person not to the store, to your product page, learn more, see whatever, but you're inviting him to get more tightly connected with the product, to experience it almost to the extent that he can touch it, right? And discuss it with your salesperson. From our current tests, it is a huge thing that can potentially transform the advertising experience in general, especially in digital. So please feel free to use the contacts that you already have upon registering for two things. First, we are going to get back to you and private message you with a link to a video on demand where certain problems that we experience today are going to be corrected. So you're going to have the access to the full content in English, if you're English, and if you're an English speaker, sorry. And the second thing that you will get is the additional materials, the presentation with most of the most important stuff there, and also a possibility to contact us with the contact form on our website, to contact us for a demo or a bit more of information, getting a bit more involved. Thank you very much for patience. Thank you very much for your attention. And thank you very much for sticking with us. Actually, I think this is probably the first live air that I've seen that is not a rock concert that had a steady growth of connections during these 1.5, 2 hours instead of a steady decline. So I'm not sure how well it went, but certainly it looks like it wasn't completely useless and boring for you. So if you're interested in any other information, please contact us. Bye-bye, and hope to see you soon.